Hey everyone, I am in my car today coming live to you because I have an appointment in a little bit. That's why I have a little bit of makeup on, but I wanted to wish you a happy Friday, and I want to say how impressed I am in this group where I'm seeing such positivity, such support for one another, and I'm hoping that you're enjoying the information that I'm sharing about your diet, because this is something that's so important, because you cannot out-train a bad diet. We've been talking a lot about, getting the right amount of foods, getting the right amounts of protein, carbs, understanding carbs, and today I want to talk about nutrition deficiencies. So many people from the 90s up have been really focusing on calories alone, which we've talked about, focusing on cutting out fat, cutting out sugar. So you're, focusing on calories, not nutrients. You're focusing on cutting out sugar, but then also putting in sucralose and other unhealthy sugar substitutes in. You're consuming saturated fat, and at the end of the day, we're not getting any healthier or skinnier. The rise of food-related illnesses keep going up. The obesity is an epidemic now. And so what I want to help you understand is that your diet has a lot to do with the cravings you have, the binge urges, the overeating that you encounter, and how you might feel deprived. Some of these things can happen from eating the same foods over and over and over again. And that's one thing that I learned a couple months ago, was that we eat about a variety of 30 different things. And so I've noticed that I've started to develop some food sensitivities, because for the last 4 years I've been home, working from home, and I've been eating the same foods over and over and over again. And the one thing is that there might be foods that are healthy, high in nutrients, but just certain foods alone are not enough to provide all the nutrients we need. So we need a variety. Also, if you're eating things like fast food, processed foods, that means box food, you can tell what processed food is if it comes in a box and you read the ingredients and there are ingredients there that you can't even pronounce. If you can't pronounce it, your body doesn't know either how to register what it is. They're not food. They're things grown in a lab, and that's what GMOs are. You'll see on packaging, no GMOs, no genetic modified I can't remember the O stands for. Anyways, but you don't want to eat things that are cooked or grown or made in a lab. That's not food. That's just basically filling your stomach. And for me, forever, I thought it was calories in, calories out, food in, food out. It was all about filling my belly. I never really realized it was about fueling my body. It was about really boosting my immune system, having health, and really that it wasn't just about weight. Also, you want to be careful, like I've said before, don't cut out food groups. Some people are carb sensitive, so you have to be careful about what types of carbs you have. I know some people have a hard time with grains or gluten, and but there's other carbs that you can have, and there's veggies that are high in carbs. So you don't want to limit carbs, because, like I've said in the past, carbs are not not the enemy. And also, when you're just stressed, overworked, overdoing everything, this can really wreak havoc on your body. Our bodies require so many vitamins and minerals that are detrimental to our health. They help with the development of our body, of our brain, in preventing disease. And like I said earlier, the rise of food-related illnesses is climbing, and that's because people are getting rid of the things that provide the nutrients that they need. There's minerals and all these different things this is what's called micronutrients, because we can't get it from food. It doesn't come on its own. We have to get it from food, supplemented. It does not naturally occur in the body. If your body is lacking in the adequate nutrition that it needs, you're not going to feel satisfied. I want to read from something that I read here. It says, people talk about feeling full, but that's not actually what they are feeling, as the stomach capacity is huge. The feeling of fullness usually generated in the brain is a response not to food volume, but nutrients. The gastrointestinal tract registers the contents of food we consume then produces different anti-eating hormones which travel to the brain and trigger a feeling of fullness. Like I've said before, our whole bodies are connected, that there's things that our brain is connected, and there's things that are triggered that help us. And I do know from past research that drinking diet sodas, I think it's leptin, I can't remember the name of the word, but there's something in the diet sodas that basically eats away at this lining in your stomach that like triggers your brain to tell you it's full. So consuming these products will make it where you're a bottomless pit. And it's so crazy that as a society, we've had so many people that are overweight and malnourished, which sounds completely like weird, but the fact is they're obese from consuming so many calories that are empty calories, that are nutrition deficient, and they're sick. And so you might look at somebody and be like, oh, you know, they're fine. How could they be malnourished? Well, they're not getting the right calories. They're not getting the right, you know, nutrients, and they're malnourished. It says here, even if you're eating sufficient calories or too many calories, you may still suffer from binge cravings as your body cries out for what it needs. Mere bulk, such as eating 4 packets of rice, will never satisfy us and we'll still feel hungry. When your body doesn't get the right nutrition, it just keeps asking for more food. The endless cycle of a craving is a catch-22. People are eating more, getting fatter, but still not satisfied. It's a nightmare for which they can't escape. And so this is the thing about the not getting the right nutrients, is you succumb to your binge urges, and then you binge, and most likely, like we said, you don't binge on foods that are full of nutrients, so it just keeps this, you know, vicious cycle going. So really what you want to make sure that you do is that you're eating whole foods. You're eating foods that come from the ground, that are natural, and there are things like supplements that can help you, because nowadays our foods are grown with using, you know, pesticides and artificial, you know, things that enhance the growth of things. And so you have to be careful. And no matter how healthy of a diet you have, even if you're eating organic, there's still gaps in your nutrition. And that's really why Shakeology is such a staple in your diet for health, for making sure that you're not succumbing to cravings, and that you're getting the right things, and that you're fighting off food-related illness, because it is all actually whole food that is found from all around the world in very pure sources, not grown in labs, not grown in greenhouses, and the food is picked right off the plant, the bush, the tree, whatever, and it's dried and ground down to powder, and it's really blended together so that it actually is absorbed in your body, and it fills in the gaps of your current diet, and it helps you fight those cravings, because your body is getting the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that it needs, that you're not getting from your diet, and it's helping you stay on track. So I'm hoping you're understanding this. If you have any questions about meal plans, just let me know. Shoot me a text. I'm really behind. My husband's been out of town, so I haven't been good at checking my messenger or my emails. But send me a text if you want to schedule a call on Saturday morning to discuss any of these things. But I hope this has been helpful and enlightening. I hope you understand how important your nutrition is. It's not something that you can just change overnight if you've had bad eating habits, but it is something that you do have control over and you can change.